Good evening. This is CTV News for Friday, July 12th. I'm Patricia Vallone. Thank you for joining us. Well, federal agents are ready to swoop down on thousands of undocumented immigrants in 10 cities across the nation on Sunday. ICE will begin conducting raids over several days, including collateral deportations, which could leave immigrants who were not targets detained because they happen to be on the scene. ICE officials say they will zero in on immigrants who have been ordered deported after failing to appear in court. President Trump defends his decision to move forward with the operation.
So people come into our country illegally, we're taking them out legally. It's very simple. It's not something I like doing, but people have come into our country illegally. We're focused on criminals. We're focused on, if you look at MS-13, but when people come into our country, we take those people out, and we take them out very legally. They all have papers, and it's a process, and I have an obligation to do it.
Several lawmakers, including Senator Chris Van Hollen, have accused the president of disregarding immigration policies and using the raids as a cruel tactic to stoke fear. Meantime, immigrant activists continue to share information about people's rights when dealing with ICE officers. Former Maryland Senator Victor Ramirez, who is also an attorney, says you don't have to open your door for agents unless they have a criminal warrant.
In most of these cases, if you don't report for your overstay your visa and you don't report for your hearing, technically that's not a criminal warrant. That's you have a civil warrant. So technically, you don't have to allow anyone into your house unless there is a criminal warrant, and they have to present that. So you can keep your door closed. You don't have to open it. Sometimes, you have maybe ICE presenting a piece of paper that says, "Here's a warrant." But the key question is it a criminal warrant? Just like if anyone knocks on your door, there has to be a warrant in order for you to allow them, without your consent, into your house.
Ramirez adds that you do have the right to remain silent and never use a fake ID or documents if agents request to see identification. Meantime, many local police departments, including Prince George's, have said they will cooperate with ICE only in criminal cases and not in civil detainers. Well, all eyes are on Louisiana today as Tropical Storm Barry approaches the Gulf Coast this weekend. The storm is expected to be the first hurricane of the season and will test the defenses that New Orleans put in place after Hurricane Katrina in 2005. Prince George's resident Tara Jones was in New Orleans for a conference this weekend. She spoke with us earlier about how the city is prepping for the big weather event. Tell us what you're seeing right now down in New Orleans just prior to the storm hitting.
Well, right now it's the calm before the storm. This morning when we got up about 6:30, the sun was shining, and then it was a torrential downpour. Now it's just overcast and misty, and a lot of people are erring on the side of caution and trying to get out of town versus riding out the storm. I was scheduled to leave tomorrow evening, Saturday evening, and we're supposed to leave at 6:45 this evening. We decided to try and get out before the storm.
Are the airports full right now? Are you seeing a lot of people evacuating?
A lot of people that are here for my convention are at the airport. The lines are very long because a lot of people have opted to leave versus riding out the storm. So right now, from what I'm seeing on the news and from what people who are at the airport are telling me, the line literally stretches out the door and the length of the terminal.
Were you able to notice any local people from New Orleans perhaps preparing sandbags, things like that in preparation?
Well, what I've noticed is there are a number of National Guard members who are now at the New Orleans Convention Center, and they said that they were going to reactivate them, and I've seen several of them milling about just preparing. My conference wasn't scheduled to end until Sunday, and it's ending today because they want to make sure that we get out safely, and the convention center is actually shutting down for business at 5 o'clock. A number of the hotel staff are being told to stay home, and a number of the restaurants are not opening today. So they're getting prepared.
And flash flooding is a major concern across Louisiana. It has declared a state of emergency ahead of the storm's landfall. Baltimore City Police say a Hyattsville man who was found shot to death in a car near Morgan State University was a student at the school. Investigators say 19-year-old Manuel Luis was killed early yesterday morning in what appears to be a robbery. He was found just outside of the security gates of his off-campus apartment. He had been shot numerous times. Luis, who was a freshman at Morgan, was a business major. He also played baseball at Parkdale High School. He was pronounced dead at the scene.